Hey, what's going on? It's your radio love, Deja Vu. Yes, we are always in the building, playing your music, talking to your favorite celebs, and talking to entrepreneurs with interesting stories as well. Let's welcome Sukhjit and Devon. How are you?
Good. How are you?
We are fabulous. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming in. Now, you all have a very interesting story, starting with your educational background and your brainiac young daughter, Kashe. Talk to us about how you got everything going with her and how you discovered that she's not just a cute, smart little girl. She's a super, super smart girl.
Yeah, I mean, I've always come from the educational background. And so when I was able to work with her a lot at home, I would kind of tell dad, like, hey, I'm pretty sure I know every parent says, like, their child's gifted or really, really smart, And so I was hesitant to kind of bring anything up because I'm like, I don't want to be that, parent. And so then when we started kind of both noticing things, that's when we were like, okay, like what are we really dealing with here? And
what were you noticing first?
Well, I mean, memory for the most part. In the beginning, like she was able to really understand concepts. And so I was more on the academic side with like the letters and numbers and, books and things like that. But dad also saw it from a different level.
For me, it was more so application. So we would read a book, and 2 weeks later, she would take a general concept from the book and apply it in real time.
Wow.
So perfect. The first time I had to ask, hey, what's going on here, to my wife was we were driving. It was like 8 p.m. I had AM radio on because I'm like my grandfather now. Don't know how I got there, but I hear her uttering something in the car seat. I turned down the radio. I'm like, what'd you say, baby? She says, crescent moon. And I'm like, why does she keep saying crescent moon? So I look up in the sky. It's a crescent moon. The week prior, we read Good Night Moon, where we would read the book and then identify everything on the page. So going through that one time, her just taking in information and being able to apply it in the proper context.
And at what age was she when this was
happening? At that time, she was
like
about 18 months.
Excuse me?
18 months.
And I think that's where it's important to kind of say that, because I think when you hear that, parents are like, yeah, so what? Like you hear it in a book and you apply it. But yeah, it was 18 months.
18 months.
She was pretty verbal at that time as well. So for her to then make that connection from a book to real life application is where you're kind of like, okay, it's not just the shape sorter. It's not just repetition in the book, but now you're applying it to real life. Even Good Night Moon, it's not realistic images. So, for her to do that, that's where for him, that was what kind of struck for him.
And so what was the next step? Okay, she's identifying the moon and saying different things and memorizing. What did you guys do next?
The next test, I have to stress test everything. Like once, wait, we might have something here. I'm going to try to pick it apart and say, I don't know. That was like a one-off. I don't know if this is real. So the next time I was pouring her nightly milk, I happened to spill it, and I let out an expletive. And
uh-oh, Dad.
I almost got it. I'm thinking in my head I'm going to get in trouble because she's going to just blurt it out, just freely and liberally. However, 2 months passed, and then she spilled her milk, and she let out the same expletive. So I'm like, wait a minute. This can't be normal for her to just take this environmental stimulus and to be able to just apply it in the perfect context each time. At that point, then I was sold.
And what did you do, Sue?
I'm pretty guilty myself. It was funny, we talked about it, and I won't say the word, but I was driving and I hit a curb and I, scratched the rim, and I was like, and she was like, why did you say? And she was like, is it because you hit the curb? And so I went through my own thing where she like dropped something and hurt herself or something. And she kind of repeated that same word and that same thing. So my hands were just as guilty at that time. But I mean, it was funny because she did it for a while, but then after that she kind of stopped. And so, around the age of, it was like 18 months, we went to our general pediatrician, and we kind of told her the same story. Like, I know you get this from all the parents. Like, but here's videos, right? Like, here's something to kind of back up what we're saying. And she's just like, yeah, like, this is a lot pretty advanced for a lot of the kids that she sees on a day-to-day basis. And again, she was doing things that she was like, some 6-year-olds are coming in and not really being able to do and talk.
That is mind-blowing.
Yeah. So for us, it was kind of like, okay, maybe we are onto something, you know? And so that's where we kind of looked at what we were able to do, and we went to get her tested for her IQ.
So you took her to do the Mensa test.
Yes.
All right. So what does that consist of?
So we're not 100% sure in terms of what the actual contents of the tests
really
are.
Quickly here. It's not a Mensa test per se.
Oh. The IQ.
So basically, we went into it to have all the information we could have. So
Got you.
In Los Angeles, early childhood education is very competitive. So if she did have this gift, we wanted to be able to confirm it. Therefore, we knew how to approach her education.
Got it.
We went into it's like a child psychologist who conducts the test. And we went into it not to, validate anything, just to confirm, kind of what we've been experiencing. She went through the exam. She was 2.5 years old. She's in there for an hour and a half. That's the other thing. She has a remarkable ability to just focus and zero in on the task. For me, it's difficult, let alone for like a 2-year-old, right?
Right.
So, she came out and she gave us her score of 146. We didn't really know what that meant, but we kind of had a general understanding that that kind of placed her like in the 99.99% percentile.
Wow. All right. So, Mom and Dad, are you all geniuses as well?
Listen.
Like he's gonna say he is.
Oh, come on now.
I'm pretty witty. I'm pretty sharp. Wife is brilliant. I'm a law school grad.
Okay.
I think I can intellectually dance in any room, but it is humbling. At 20 months, she became more proficient than me in identifying states by their silhouettes. So it's a gratifying yet humbling experience when your 2-year-old is.
It's just blazing through.
Right.
And so when did you guys share the story about Kashe to the news outlets and everything? Because I'm sure people started calling to find out about this brain.
Pretty intense. So when we did the testing in order after, I don't even know how it happened, actually. We just started getting calls, and it was like because it was COVID. So a lot of things were like on virtual and the first big one, I mean, KTLA ran the story, which is like the local LA network. And then the second it aired, they did the morning, and then I guess it did so well, it did the afternoon. And then that's where CBS, like all the major networks started calling us. And at that time, we're obviously in California time, so we were getting calls at like 4:30, 5 in the morning.
Wow.
And I didn't have my phone on me. I think the first one was
I got a call from
Jimmy Kimmel.
A 317 number at like 5:20. And I'm like, something told me to answer it. 9 times out of 10, I would not answer it. And they're like, yeah, this is the producers of Jimmy Kimmel. And I'm like, how did you get my number? Because I wasn't even.
How did they get the number? Hold on.
I wasn't even a part of the initial interview because I had other things going on. And they tracked me down. And I'm like, let's talk about this, when the sun comes up. And let's figure it out if it works for both parties.
So how has life changed since then? I've seen you guys on the talk show circuit with Kashe, and you started a school?
Yeah, we ended up starting a school. So I've always been in education, and after the pandemic, we kind of really utilized that time to work together. We both run it, and I'm kind of on the day-to-day tasks where he's on like the hidden things you don't see about a business. And
the boring things, the real estate, the HR, the payroll, like all the things that, give you gray hair. She's doing the fun stuff. Yeah.
But it's still important.
It's important.
You still play a vital role.
Right.
Yes.
So we started at that time. So we were looking, and actually the lockdown happened. And so we always talk about how timing was so important because their story came out, and then the lockdown, when it was lifted for California, we were then looking to like locate, have a location, excuse me. And so we started with 12 students. We brought in families, and this is now right after the pandemic, and we're kind of not sure where the world is going. Parents aren't sure what's going to happen to their kids if they send them back to being socialized or in a school setting. So we helped the community, and then we also created a space for Kashe to be able to join us, where I was basically her teacher, and, you know, created separate curriculum for her to make sure she still had that socialization, but then she also had things that were driving her to continue to be better. So we started that back in October of 2020, and now we're 2 locations in with a few pending.
2 locations and a few pending. That is amazing.
Yeah, so we went from 12 students and we have 84
now.
Yeah.
84 families.
Wow, and it's all in the LA area?
Yeah, we have 1 location in Eagle Rock and then another one in the San Gabriel Valley.
That is amazing.
Yes, thank
so
you.
was this a part of what you did before? Your previous life in education? Were you in administration as well?
No, I've always been in education. If I ever shifted careers, it somehow ended me back with children. Prior to that, I was actually in estate management. And that's when I first kind of got pregnant. When I was pregnant, I was doing newborn care specialist. So I was always doing different tasks within that. The only one which wasn't was when I was the estate manager and personal assistant. But then that taught me all the administrative stuff, how to organize and how to do these things. And my personality is already, I would say, naturally like that. So it was just learning those skills and then, you know, utilizing them when our opportunity came.
My wife is modest. She's a child whisperer.
You're the child whisperer.
I'm gonna put it on the table. She has a unique ability to connect with children from all walks of life and to be able to, foster their development and nurture.
That's awesome.
All in one package.
That is awesome. So, okay, who would have thought that this would come just from having your baby? The lockdown comes, and then now you have locations with an S of your school. How many students are in each class or each school?
So it depends, but we try to run small group instruction. So our goal is basically the smaller the load, the teachers are really able to integrate what they want to teach their children and that curriculum development. So by the time the students leave at the age of 5, we really have them at, the top of their class, or we're comfortable sending them off to what the expectations of kindergarten might be. And so a lot of our parents appreciate that process because it's not just here's a coloring worksheet because everyone's doing it. We really tailor that curriculum, and we bring in educators that kind of see that why, and this is what I'm doing for the long run. And it's been a great community that we've built, and that's again one of the things that the parents really appreciate is the community and that one-on-one approach that we try to deliver.
Are there future plans to extend this nationwide?
Yes, so that's kind of my role, like scaling. We have a potential location in San Francisco, top of 2025. We're starting to kind of take advantage of the lack of commercial tenants. So we're partnering with realtors to creatively approach the vacancies that's all around Los Angeles to deliver childcare inside the commercial spaces to attract tenants to come back into the office.
Oh, that's smart.
That's a unique opportunity that we want to take advantage of. And 2025 is going to be a big year. We have an app coming as well. The Modern Schoolhouse will evolve into like an ed tech company as well, because there's not a day we don't wake up to an email that says, hey, I want to connect with my children. I see what you're doing. I see the story. I just don't know how. So we have an app coming where there'll be an e-learning component to where the parent can, get their handheld, essentially walking through the early stages of early childhood education.
That is amazing. All right, so what does this look like now that Kashe is going to be going to first grade? Because you guys are going, babies till age 5?
Yeah, our program right now starts at 18 months, so it's about a year and a half, and then they go up until the age of 5,
Okay.
where they leave our program to go into kindergarten. So Cash actually graduated with us last year. Well,
Oh,
a
gotcha.
year, technically last year, but 2 years on the academic year. So now she's off at her school, and she'll be entering first grade.
So how do they adjust to her learning style and her capacity for knowledge?
It's funny because she positioned herself in a role how she was at the modern schoolhouse. She was like a pseudo staff member. So she would kind of shepherd
And she
the
still
children.
is when she comes to
And she would
visit.
help read, and she would, help with meals. So she kind of like positions herself that way in her kindergarten class as well. We believe, we know that, IQ is one thing, but then there's another component called EQ, and that's the soft skills, that's the social development, that's the emotional development. That, we didn't want to just put her in a fourth grade class because, she was 5 at the time, and she still had tantrums, and she still kind of saw the world through an egocentric lens. So there was a big component of learning how to make friends, and learning when, the group of girls necessarily doesn't want to play with you at lunch. How do you navigate that? So there was a large component of learning that transpired this past year where, she's an active member of the community, and she's excited to go into first grade.
That's going to be amazing. All right, we'll be talking to Cash in a minute. But before we do that, talk to us about a hustler's tip for someone who might be trying to maybe get into education or do something similar to what you all are doing. Maybe not that same thing, but maybe an offshoot of it. What would you advise them if they're going to be getting property, starting a class, starting something?
I would say wise words are, you lack for nothing. A lot of times we want to wait until the ideal moment. We want to wait until the moment is right. You have to go. There's no moment like today. Maximize the resources that you have. Getting your phone, networking is crucial, it's key. And I would just say just go. There's no moment like today.
Okay. And give us some words of encouragement. So give us some insight onto, I don't know, maybe you had a frustrating moment or whatever, running the business, being the mom and doing it all.
Yeah.
Give us something that might encourage and build others.
I think if you really have a passion for it, you'll always find a way. And as up and down things may get, one of the things that I think he's also mentioned is the grass is not always greener. And so anytime something happens and I'm like, but what if this? And, my mom brain starts going like, what if I did it this way? And problem solving, right? And then I just have to kind of take it for what it is and shift and just realize that what else may happen or does not happen, it doesn't mean that it's always going to be perfect. So I think when you especially have something that's your baby or your passion and you try to want it to be a certain way and have it be perfect, you're not ready to take on everything else that you didn't account for. And sometimes those things can slow you down more than if you just have that mentality of this is a part of the process and we're going to figure it out as it comes.
And how are you all maintaining the relationship? I mean, is there date night? I mean, you all are working, and you have the kids and all this stuff. How do we maintain and keep the romance alive?
Again, just this perfect segue, what my wife just mentioned, just remaining in the process. Date night consists of, because it's just us in L.A. My wife's family's from San Jose. My family's from here. So we just have the children with us. It's a party of 4, and you make it happen. We have fun. Our children, they kind of have great experience ordering at restaurants, and right now the 16-month-old, he's a handful. The universe kind of balances things out for you because Cash was such an easy, I wouldn't say easy, it was a graceful 6 years thus far, and our crew came to wake us up and tell us, hey, this parenting thing is not so smooth sailing.
He's your typical boy behavior, and I always say he's probably what we needed because we're both very, calm, just and then Cash was like that, so we're like, okay, yeah, we're all on the same page, and he came in.
He came to wake it up.
Yeah, he's gonna let you know when he doesn't like something, he's not going with the plans. He's gonna test the boundaries, and so. I'm just using that as an opportunity to get better at my craft.
I love it.
Yeah. So
and what's his name again?
Crew.
Kashe and Crew. I like it. That's cute.
Yeah.
Cute.
So we'll see in a couple of years where he's at, but he's sort of trekking on the same path as Kashe. So I think we're excited with no expectations, obviously, but we'll see.
No, there's definitely expectations.
Don't put the pressure on Dad.
Dad has. I whisper in his ear at night. You got. Your sister's out here getting busy. You got some big shoes to fill, but it's all in fun. We love competition, and I think it's going to be an interesting dynamic.
Well, we can't wait to see what happens with you all in the Modern Schoolhouse, with the app and everything, and we'll see how Kashe comes along with Crew as well. Thank you all for stopping by, but wait, we still want to hear from Miss Kashe. Come on over, Kashe.
Come on, Kashe.
She's been waiting for her turn to get on the mic.
Yeah. And so one thing we're working on is our projection and our public speaking skills.
All right. Well, let's talk into the microphone,
It's
Kashe.
part of the curriculum at the Modern Schoolhouse, public speaking.
Talk to us. How are you doing today?
Good.
You're doing good. Do you want to talk to us about what you're going to be learning in school for this year? Are you excited about certain things?
Well, I'm excited to learn more in first grade.
Oh, really? Do you have your outfit picked out for first grade yet?
I have my own uniform.
Oh, you have a uniform. Nice. What color is it?
What colors are your school?
Blue and white.
Nice. All right, Kashe. So what do you like to study? What do you like to learn? Are you a reader? Do you watch TV?
Watch TV.
Do you have any books that you like?
No.
Not right off. What are you watching on TV? Dora? What are
do you
those
like to
kids
watch?
with the big heads? Coco Melon? No, that's too kiddie for you. What do you like?
I like to watch stuff my parents don't know sometimes.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like today I watched something called Rainbow High.
On Netflix? Yeah.
Was it fun? Was it a good show?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. We love it. Well, thank you for talking to us, Kashe. Are you ready to go and travel the rest for the summer?
Yes.
Where are you going next? What's next?
To school.
Okay. And I heard you went to Disney too. What
What
was
did
your
you-
favorite ride?
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. Wow. What did they do on that one? Was it like a roller coaster or was it like a swinging thing?
It made us like go back into the past.
Oh, wow. And now you came back into the future, ready for the next thing, right?
Yeah, but the point is I have a dog that's big, and her name's Cairo, and that's where we got the name from.
Oh.
We changed the C into a K.
Because Indiana Jones took place.
Yes.
In Egypt.
Yes, in Cairo. Okay, so you changed it, and everybody, does Crew's name start with a K as well?
Yeah, and we have another dog, Kingston, which is a K. So it's Kingston and Cairo, which happened to ironically be countries.
No,
Cities in
Cities.
countries. And then Kashe and Crew, so we kept the K theme.
Once we started, it just kept going downhill. So we're just going to keep the K's rolling at this point.
Keep the K's rolling and keep the A's rolling as well with the Modern Schoolhouse. Guys, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
So much for having us.
And wait, how can we reach you? Tell everybody how they can find out more about what you're doing at the Modern Schoolhouse.
You can visit our website at www.themodernschoolhouse.com. And then our Instagram or social media is at the-modern schoolhouse. There's no .com. So.
And when we be seeing you guys like on a reality show, talking about the family and seeing how you all are doing things.
We've had a few kind of
Talking to the mic, Dad.
Yes, we've had a few production companies reach out, but for us, it had to make sense. It had to be organic. Right now, unfortunately, we understand the TV space. There has to be a hook, but we don't want to manufacture drama. We have enough, right? So we're going to look into developing our own
Nice
content and share with the world our day-to-day journeys and struggles and triumphs. And I think it'll be something that a lot of people can connect to. We also have actually we have a short that's going to air at the film festival circuit coming up in October. I don't know if we could share much more than that, but that's coming up in the near future as well.
That's going to be amazing. Okay, so y'all have big things on the horizon. All right, well, thank you all for stopping by. And Miss Kashe, thank you for gracing us with your presence and hanging out.
Bye.
I
Bye.
want to ask give them a little taste of the old brain power.
No.
No? What's the square root of 49?
7.
6 times 6.
36.
9 times 9.
81.
Yeah, see, that's
Wow. Look, don't even pressure me, okay? I'm like, 6 times 6 was what? So smart. Right, square roots. That is amazing. Are you still studying your states and everything? No?
what have you done
We
this
don't do
summer?
elements anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah, we moved.
What do we do
on.
now?
So we did over summer. We've done art camp. She's gonna go join. She did cooking and baking camp because she's had a love for that.
Wow. What do you like to bake? Cookies? Cakes?
Cakes.
Yum.
Yeah.
And
And
then I'm the
taste test.
I'm the taste tester.
The taste tester. Okay.
Yes.
And I brought all my cooking and baking skills home.
Yeah.
And how often do you get to cook and bake?
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but sometimes. Okay, cool. Maybe next time you come here, you can bake something and then bring it up here for me, okay? Because I like to eat. I'm hungry. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much for having us.